stairs. As you know, this is where I always do my best thing. Sorry, my internet keeps giving out. This is super important information, folks. If you're not already meditating, this is going to make your day. If you put a comment below, I will later find the article and send it to you. So here's the news. Folks, if you haven't heard, meditation changes your life. That's not the news, okay? It does get better than that. The old sort of paradigm was you have to meditate for 10 minutes a day in order for it to have lasting effects on your life. Now, if you have a super busy life like I do, like 10 minutes sounds like 5 hours. Like, where am I going to find 10 minutes in a day? Right? That sounds like forever, particularly if you hate meditation. Finding 10 minutes for meditation is like, yeah, I'd rather just sleep the extra 10 minutes. Guys, I hear you. So here's what happened. A lot of people started studying and questioning this notion, and all of a sudden, people said, hey, you don't need 10 minutes. If you just do, say, 5 to 8 minutes of meditation a day, that's going to change your life. Okay, 5 to 8 minutes sounds more manageable, I think, especially A, if you hate meditation, B, you don't have time for it, or C, you're just not good at it. So, guys, here is the breakthrough, the life changing information that will blow you away. The most recent study that I found on this topic said if you do 1 minute of honest to goodness, separate from your life, separate from your mind, and separate from your body for 1 minute a day meditation, it will change your neuroplasticity. Now, what's neuroplasticity? Neuroplasticity is basically your mind, brain's ability to adapt and continue to change even as you get older. Because as we know, as we get older, everything in our body unfortunately deteriorates, our mind as well, right? I'm going to skip the political commentary here. However, neuroplasticity used to be thought like really, really decreased with age naturally, especially as you got, you know, much older. As many of you know, I'm about to turn 53. So I'm getting a lot of comments on my YouTube these days about being like super old, being a granny, being a cougar. That's weird because I think that involves actually preying on younger men, which I don't do. But I'm proud to be 53, guys. Let me be honest. I do things at 53 that most people can't do at 25. So to me, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. I can't control my age, but I can control my neuroplasticity. Okay. So if your brain isn't always evolving, growing, getting stronger, and, adapting to the world around it, it's doing the opposite. At best, it's stagnating. At worst, it's in a state of atrophy. And I don't know about you, but it's super important to me that my mind always stays top notch. Among other things, it will actually help you on the mat. It helps you on the mat. Yes, folks, yoga is not just a physical practice. It's much more mental than it is physical, and it's much more spiritual than it is mental. So, if you're just joining, the big news is you only have to meditate 1 minute a day, 1 minute a day to shift your neuroplasticity. Now, again, super no pro here. I don't have the study in front of me because I'm at the Santa Monica stairs. So I'm all sweaty and gross, and the camera's all shaky because I'm cooling down. But here's what's interesting. So if we want to think about like super classical yoga, okay, super classical yoga. Um, if you look at the Ashtanga of yoga, now I'm not talking about Ashtanga yoga, meaning the practice of Pattabhi joys. I'm talking about the actual Ashtanga of Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras. Now he talks limbed path to enlightenment. Basically means meditate until you're enlightened, but that's a story for another day. In fact, I have that story somewhere on this channel. But here's what's interesting. It's sort of a hierarchy to reach enlightenment. And if you could believe it, number 6 on the 8 limbs, 8 being actual enlightenment, Number 6 is what's called dharana. And what it means is to get your mind still for 12 seconds. 12 seconds. Now, that may not seem like a lot. If you've ever tried keeping your mind completely still for 12 seconds, it's a pretty big deal. But that's actually 6 on the 8 steps to enlightenment. Number 7, dhyana, which is what they consider to be sort of the highest attainment of meditation before enlightenment, is 12 times 12 seconds, right? 144 seconds, about 2.5 minutes. So given that 2.5 minutes takes you to bliss, to enlightenment, to samadhi, doesn't it make sense that just 1 minute of meditation a day can completely change your life? So let me tell you how you can do this. I know there's nobody out there, not the president of the United States, not Bill Gates, not Jeff Bezos, not Elon Musk. There's nobody in the world who can't find 1 minute a day. And that 1 minute is a huge investment in the rest of your life. Okay, so here's what to do with that minute. If you're at work, and yes, you could do this at work, it's 1 minute. Okay, do it before lunch if you need to. Close your eyes. Okay, that's the first thing. When we close our eyes, we block out our number 1 sensory input from the world around us. Okay, vision. In fact, if we go back to the 8-limb path, number 5, before we get into meditation, is actually removing the senses, removing sensory input. So closing our eyes is the main way we do that. And I'm pretty sure I already laid down this video now that I'm saying this. That's okay. Never hurts to hear it twice. Okay, so close your eyes. It's okay if you're at your desk. It's even okay if you're like just sitting in a chair. If you have the opportunity to sit in like a cross-legged position, I recommend it. A, cross legs allow us to sit taller. B, cross legs take pressure off of our low back and also off of our hamstrings. So I do personally prefer a cross-legged position, but especially if you're wearing a skirt and you're at work, that's not necessarily going to make sense for you, right? So just sit in your chair. That's fine. Close your eyes, make sure you're sitting tall and that your shoulders are in the rolled back and down position. Now, that may not seem very important, but keep in mind that we maintain the stress in our lives, we hold it in our shoulders and our necks. This is the current tension that we hold in our lives, like the stress of our day. We hold our residual tension, meaning like trauma from the past, arguments that we've had, people who are pissed off at us, blah, 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 in our hips. Oh, by the way, when you sit in a crisscross position, it also gets into your hips. So it's a good way to aid in that release. Okay. So you're sitting tall, shoulders are in the back and down position. You feel lots of opening across your chest. Okay. When my chest is open, right? So shoulders back and down, you just roll it back. The problem is a lot of people, when I say shoulders back and down, go back, down, and then they just sort of go forward again. Don't wind up in that forward again position. Keep it back and down so it's wide across your chest. What does that do? Guys, it opens your heart. Does that make sense? When I've got space from here to here, it opens my heart. Now it opens it literally, right? It's stretching open those muscles, but that's how we figuratively get to that space as well. Okay, so shoulders are rolling back and down. You're sitting tall, hopefully in a crisscross position. Do anything you want with your hands. I like to fold them one on top of the other in my lap. If you prefer to place them on your knees, that's fine. I don't recommend like picking your nose or whatever, so maybe don't do anything with them, but find a comfortable position for your hands, but make sure it does not pull your shoulder forward again, okay? Then all you're gonna do, you could even set a timer for 1 minute and just take deep Ujjayi breaths. What's an Ujjayi breath? It's an inhale through your nose. And an exhale, it's like a sigh. And it feels like it's coming from your throat with your mouth closed. It makes sort of like this ocean sound coming in and out of your body. And by the way, I do have at least two videos I could think of on Ujjayi breathing to help you with that if you're not familiar with how that works. Now, Ujjayi literally is just sighing with your mouth closed. Why do we sigh in real life? Why do we sigh? We sigh to relieve stress and tension from our lives. It's a natural response. Now, when we sigh with our mouth closed, what we're doing is we're taking this natural stress reliever and we're adding in mindfulness, right? Because nobody actually sighs with their mouth closed unless they think about it. So, what this does is by sitting straight and tall, heart open, everything is engaged, but also mixing with this like relaxation so that we've got the yang, which is the upright, muscular control of our bodies, and the yin, which is the release of our muscles, the release of our brain. In order to find the balance, and the Ujjayi breath, guys, is actually the biggest equalizer that we have in yoga. Okay. It gives you energy when you're feeling lethargic, and it calms you down when you're feeling over energetic, stressed out, any of the things. So, can you, for 1 minute a day, I'm challenging you now, 1 minute a day, set an alarm if you need to, do it when you wake up if you need to, breathe, sitting up tall, take 1 minute of meditation, try to actively separate from your day. Try not to think about your work, your relationships, your life, your your troubles, even your wins, your good things, your successes. Let it all go for 1 minute. And again, what this is going to do is it's going to build that neuroplasticity, which means the ability of your brain to adapt to the environment and circumstances around you, and also to make sure that your brain stays sharp and able to process and function as you grow older, like all of us are. Okay, that being said, if there are any questions, what mascara do I use? That is such a funny question because just this morning I was saying, so I have a big YouTube live coming up, and I was literally thinking to myself, I should put on some mascara because I never wear mascara. That was such a random thought, and it's funny that you're asking because I'm not wearing mascara. Boy, is this off topic. I come from a family of like eyelashes and lots of long hair. So that's what mascara I use. I use the mascara of God. Does anybody have any other questions about meditation, how to make it work for you, why it's important, how to find a minute in your day to do it? Okay, I'm going to assume that is a no. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment below. Do you meditate? How does it work for you? I'd love to hear. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Does it help you? Does it suck? You know, for those of you who like have watched me for a long time, I'm not the best meditator in the world. I do it. I do it every day. But it's hard for me if I'm going to be honest. But I do know that it makes a difference in my life, and I do know that it will make a difference in your life. 1 minute a day. Do we have a deal? Let me know. Have an awesome day. This is Shana Meyerson with Yoga Athletica at the Santa Monica Stairs. I will see you again soon.